Is this too much, you guys? I feel like this is too much. Hey folks, my name is Jen, and today I would like to talk to you about all of the books that I have chosen to read for October. So normally for October I try to pick books that are kind of spooky or have like a fall vibe to them. This year I had already picked like a handful, and then I saw the announcement for the Bookish readathon over on Emma from Bookish Princess's channel. She is partnering up this year with Anne from Princess Lessons, and their prompts that they have chosen for this year follow the tickets that were available back on opening day in 1971 of Walt Disney World. So it's like a kind of like a tier thing almost, so it ranges from A tickets, which would just be the most basic of like attractions, and working up to the E tickets, which was where all the good shit was, like Haunted Mansion and everything. So basically within these prompts you would look at what was available attraction and ride wise for each ticket tier, and then choose a book that is inspired by one of those rides and attractions. So first of all, let's go with the books that I chose that are related to or inspired by, or just, I don't know, they're books that I picked out that are in the spooky or fall vibe, but I think also kind of fit the prompts as well. It might be a stretch with some of them, but like, we'll see. So first up is the A ticket. It's the most basic of attractions, and one of the rides on the A ticket is Cinderella's Golden Carousel. So normally you'd probably be thinking, pick Cinderella or Cinderella retelling. No, I'm going to stretch a little bit for this one, and instead I have chosen 4 Past Midnight by Stephen King. Jen, you might be asking, what the hell does Stephen King have to do with Cinderella? Not too much, actually. However, like I said, I'm stretching for this one because this involves, from the blurb on the inside, past midnight something happens to time, that fragile concept we employ to order our sense of reality. It bends, stretches, turns back, or snaps, and sometimes reality snaps with it. And these are all 4 novellas that kind of involve that. And what do we know about Cinderella? Well, we know that she had to leave the ball by midnight or shit was gonna hit the fan. Indeed, when she left the ball a little bit late, the magic disappeared, everything went back to normal, and reality didn't snap, but I'm sure that Cinderella felt pretty crappy when she got back to reality. So yeah, it's a stretch, I know, but we're going with it because I don't have any Cinderella retellings. The next prompt is the B tickets, so it's like the next level of attractions. The one that I chose to go with is Main Street Cinema. I have a couple of options in here that I could probably pick that would fit in with that. I wanted to pick something that had like a film or show adaptation of it. I decided to go with, I have 2 books that I'm definitely going to read for, and they are both Goosebumps books. These are by R.L. Stine. I have decided to go with The Haunted Mask and Night of the Living Dummy 3. You probably saw these recently. I grabbed them from my parents' house. So yeah, I know there's like show adaptations of both of these, so I'm thinking this is a pretty good way to bring in the spooky season, you know. I can read these and then maybe I can find the adaptations of them and watch them as well and see if they scare me as much as these did when I was a kid. If you don't know, The Haunted Mask is about a girl who's tired of being scared all the time and manages to find a truly terrifying Halloween costume. And Night of the Living Dummy 3 Well, it involves ventriloquist dummies, and those are creepy enough as it is, so yeah. So next up is the C ticket, and for this I chose to get a book that's kind of in line with Snow White's adventures. So I was thinking, okay, I don't have any unread Snow White adaptations or retellings or anything. What can I potentially go with? So I'm thinking about the themes of Snow White, you know, like poisonous fruit, or, you know, found family, I suppose, because she finds the dwarfs and they kind of become her family and stuff. Then I was thinking about witches. Do I have any books about, like, witches right now? Yes, in fact I do. So I have chosen to pick up How to Hang a Witch by Adriana Mather, about a girl who moves to Salem, which is where her family originally was from. Her last name is Mather, much like the author's last name. It's not really a good time being a Mather in Salem, Massachusetts, when your great and etc. was Cotton Mather, who was responsible for the murder of a whole bunch of innocent people. So she has to kind of deal with that, deal with a ghost in her house, and also deal with the descendants at her school, which is a clique of kids who were all descended from those who were put to death during the Salem witch trials. So, spooky, slightly fits the theme. There we go. So, next up for the D ticket, there were a couple of options in here, and so I have a couple of options for books. Would be the ride, and I actually don't know if this is still a part of Disney World, because it's definitely not something I went on when I was there a long time ago, but Flight to the Moon, never heard of it before. I'm assuming it's not a thing anymore. But I didn't really have any technically spooky sci-fi books, but I did, however, over the summer grab the Thrawn trilogy because I wanted to reread it. So I decided, hey, how about I start reading the trilogy again in October? I can at least get to book 1. They're all a little thick, but I'm sure I can at least get through the first one. So I decided to grab Heir to the Empire. This is a Star Wars story. It is by Timothy Zahn. It takes place five years after the rebels have destroyed the Death Star and defeated the Emperor. Everybody's kind of doing their thing, and unfortunately the Empire, there's still some dregs of it out there in the universe, and they really want revenge. So, I mean, there's a moon in it. It's not our moon, but it's a moon. It counts. And then this book, I really wanted to reread it anyway this month because it just has that fall vibe to it. But I thought that it also maybe slightly fits another D-ticket attraction, which is Country Bear Jamboree. No, there's no bears in this. But, however, there is an angry goat, and it has, like, I think the feel of Country Bear Jamboree. There's, like, music stuff and fall and, like, country rustic vibes, and there's also succotash, and I don't know, I feel like that's very rustic dish, maybe? So for this, which kind of fits the prompt, I've decided to pick up Pumpkinheads. This is by Faith Erin Hicks and Rainbow Rowell. It's a graphic novel about two friends who it is their last night, basically, working at this pumpkin patch that they've worked at throughout all of high school, and they're just up for a time to have one last crazy shenanigan, basically. So, yeah. Kind of fits. Also, love that fall vibe, so hell yes. And then lastly, I have, again, two books that kind of fit in with the the prompt. The last prompt is the e-ticket and features some of like the prime rides. The one I went with, of course, is Haunted Mansion. Of all of the rides that I went on and things that I saw back when we went when I was like 12, the Haunted Mansion was the one I was most excited for, and it's the one I remember the most. Of course, I had to pick that because I also have a lot of books about haunted mansions because it's kind of my thing. But for this, like I said, I have two possibilities. One, I was definitely going to pick up this month anyway because October is my time for my annual reread, and that is The Shining by Stephen King. If you don't know what this is about, you're missing out. This follows Jack Torrance. He's kind of a screw-up, and he has this one chance to maybe make things pretty much alright for him and his family, but it involves taking his wife and 5-year-old son Danny to Colorado and holing up inside of the Outlook Hotel, which is this gigantic old hotel up in the mountains. And the thing is, the Outlook is definitely haunted, and Jack is definitely going to have to face whatever's lurking in the Outlook as well as his own demons. This book is one of my favorite books of all time, and I usually reread it during the fall. So I know a hotel is not really a mansion, but it's big like one. I'm counting it. Also, for this prompt though, I do have a backup. I also grabbed this book from my parents' house. It's something that I really liked when I was a kid, and I thought, you know, if I'm reading a lot of spooky things this month, I should probably have some lighter spooks in there as well. So I am going to pick up The Haunting of Grade 3. It's by Grace Macarone. This actually does feature a mansion. This is following the 3rd grade who temporarily has to move into an old mansion and have their classes in there while their school is being fixed. So there we have it. So those are the books that I have chosen for the Bookish readathon. I am super excited to do that. Like I said, it's been a while since I was in a readathon, and I have a little more time now, so I'm hoping to be like more involved in like posting and stuff. But okay, my battery's good. It's my video card that's going. Alright, let's be super quick about these last books. So I have 4 more books here that are also within that spooky vibe that I'm kind of looking for. One is Beloved by Toni Morrison. I read this book in college for one of my classes. I recently grabbed it from my parents' house, and I do want to reread it anyway and see how I feel about it now as opposed to how I felt about it in college, when I actually had to like pay attention to themes and write notes, and there's all kind of like notes and things written in here. But yeah, I want to see how it is to read it for pleasure rather than just for class. Also, you know, it involves with hauntings, like an actual haunting, as well as the things that happen in your past that can haunt you and affect your future. And then I have The Night Sister by Jennifer McMahon. This involves a haunted hotel and sisters who go back to this haunted hotel they stayed at when they were children, to kind of address the past. I'd also like to grab I Hope You're Listening by Tom Ryan. This is about a girl who went into the woods with one of her friends as a teenager, and she was the one who returned. Her friend was never seen again. She is now an adult, and she runs a podcast that kind of tries to look into missing persons cases and solve unsolved mysteries. But she becomes personally involved in the case when girls start disappearing from her hometown again. A book that I would really like to get to in October is Dr. Sleep by Stephen King. This is the sequel to The Shining. This is following Danny Torrance, Jack's son, as an adult still dealing with the repercussions of what happened to him when he was 5. It involves like a creepy like sect. It has just horrifying visuals in it from what I remember when the first time I read it. But it's about time that I reread this after reading The Shining, so there. So there you have it, folks. Here's all of my books that I'm going to be reading in October. I cannot wait, and I hope that you all have a spooky time picking out your books and reading as well. Bye!